Welcome to the service clinic at Low Country Harley-Davidson. I'm Doc Harley. I get the question all the time, Doc, how long can my belt last? When should I change my pulleys? Well, I just happen to have a fantastic example here. This is a 2003. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's brand new off the showroom floor. I have had the ultimate pleasure of setting this motorcycle up and giving almost 100% all the services. A couple of them I wasn't around for. So it has 123,000 miles on it, owned by a wonderful woman who's a nurse who belongs to the Motor Maids, and I got to give a thumbs up to the Motor Maids because they're a fantastic establishment. If you get the chance to go by one of their rallies and talk with the ladies, they're fantastic people, and they do a fantastic parade also when they're involved. But I want to talk about pulleys, I want to talk about belts, and it's time, or it really wasn't time. It's preventative maintenance. She's ready to do the rallies again this year, 123,000 miles. We're noticing that the disc was getting a little bit low on the minimum side and the teeth were starting to show a little sharpness on it, so preventative. We're replacing the pulleys, the belt, and the disc. So here is her original pulley, rear and front. These are the new ones. Now, if we looked at the belts, hardly really a lot of wear on this, but let's get a closer look at the pulleys. Here's her original one, and here's the new one. Now you can tell the original one's starting to square. It's when they start squaring off that the edges start getting sharp. And the belt is rounded, so the sharp edges get inside the grooves where the belt comes over it and starts cutting on it. So if you're looking at your bike, I'm not sure you'd have 123,000 miles, but take a look at your front pulley with a flashlight and look at it. Do you see this wear? All the protective coating, the original protective coating, is gone. It's squaring the teeth. It's not round anymore. This is a good indication. This is the time to start budgeting for a new pulley, new belt, and new rear pulley. Now, you ask, Doc, do I really have to do the whole thing? It's the idea of putting a new with an old belt and an old pulley. It's going to wear twice as fast, all right? So I do it all together so it all goes together in mileage, and then also you can have on your records, okay, I changed this belt and all my pulleys at 123,000 miles. You can check it at another 123,000 miles down the road and know that all three pieces were changed. You don't have to keep a separate record on just the front pulley or just the rear pulley. So there's the comparison on the front. Let's compare the rear. Not as bad, but definitely showing square, coating gone. This is the new one, rounded, so the belt glides over these teeth where these grab and start cutting the edge. I've seen worse. I've seen so sharp that it cuts my hand. This is not on the worst side, but it is a great time to change it, to get it. I'm sure that gas mileage may go up a little bit because the belt is not trying to grab onto these, it's gliding over it. There are so many advantages of keeping a good system together, and it will last 123,000 miles. Would this have lasted longer? Possibly, but preventative maintenance and knowing when you did everything helps in keeping the bike longevity. I mean, look at this bike. I mean, it's beautiful. She keeps it in excellent condition. You can put this on the showroom floor next to a new bike and you'd swear it was a 23 or maybe even a 24. So keeping preventative maintenance and keeping an eye on your stuff. We're doing the discs. The discs have a minimum depth, 0.205. She's really close, but you could actually take your finger and you would feel this thinner and this up. So you've got really the original on the outside and thinner in the middle. You take a micrometer, you measure it. If it gets close to 0.205, your brake pads are working too hard to stay close to the disc. You'd rather have it the regular specification. So we're going to put brand new disc and brand new pads. It's always good to do new pads, new disc at the same time. So, how long will my belt last? No, I really didn't answer your question, but I gave you possibilities of looking at what you have. Look at your belt. Look for cracks on the inside of your bumps on the belt teeth to see if they're starting to tear because of the squareness on it. These are all visual things that you can see with a flashlight. Now the Sportster, a lot easier than the big motors, but still you can get on the ground, you can shine a flashlight up, and you can see this pulley, and you of course can see this pulley on the back. So I hope this gave you a little bit more tools in your tool belt to be able to know, hey, maybe it's time for a little preventative maintenance instead of being on that big rally with the motor maids riding in the parade and all of a sudden the belt breaks or something starts holding you up and going. Preventative maintenance really helps a Harley last long, and this Sportster, I'm sure, will go another 100,000 miles because the way she takes care of it, every service is taken care of. She personally washes and waxes it. And, oh, I wanted to show you, Sportsters are one of the easiest ones to replace. Yes, you still have to disassemble a lot, but on a big motor, you have to take the whole inner primary off. With a Sportster, you take the exhaust system off, you take your cover off so you can get onto this, and a little tech tip, this is a left-handed thread. Yeah, don't get the power tools and the big crow trying to do it left. It's a left-handed thread to get that nut out. 1 7/8, I believe, is the socket. And then, of course, it's the shock with the bike, of course, lifted up and taking everything off. So, yes, this is something maybe you could do if you had the proper tools. You see, I've got plenty of tools out to take care of this situation. But this is what I have to do to replace it, but it's worth it. Just wanted to give you a little more information so you can make the decision on when to replace your belt and your pulleys. I'm Doc Harley. We'll see you next time.